let me ask you about staying in aliens for just a little longer, because I think it's a good transition in talking about governments and human societies. Do you think if a U.S. government or any government was in possession of an alien spacecraft or of information related to alien spacecraft, they would have the capacity structurally? Would they have the processes? Would they be able to communicate that to the public effectively, or would they keep it secret in a room and do nothing with it? Both of to try to preserve military secrets, but also because of the incompetence that's inherent to bureaucracies, or either.
Well, we can certainly see when certain things become declassified 25 or 50 years later that there were things that the public might have wanted to know that were kept secret for a very long time for reasons of at least supposedly national security, which is also a nice source of plausible deniability for people covering their ass for doing things that would be problematic and other purposes. There's a scientist at Stanford who supposedly got some material that was recovered from Area 51 type area, did analysis on it using, I believe, electron microscopy and a couple other methods, and came to the idea that it was a nanotech alloy that was something we didn't currently have the ability to do, was not naturally occurring. I've heard some things, and again, like I said, I'm not going to stand behind any of these because I haven't done the level of study to have high confidence. I think what you said also about would it be super low-tech alien craft, like would they necessarily move their atoms around in space? Or might they do something more interesting than that? Might they be able to have a different relationship to the concept of space or information or consciousness? Or one of the things that the craft supposedly do is not only accelerate and turn in a way that looks non-inertial, but also disappear. Yeah. So there's a question as to, like, the two are not necessarily mutually exclusive. And it could be possible to, some people run a hypothesis that they create intentional amounts of exposure as an invitation of a particular kind. Who knows? Interesting field.
We tend to assume, like SETI, that's listening out for aliens out there. I've just been recently reading more and more about gravitational waves, and you have orbiting black holes that orbit each other. They generate ripples in space-time. On my for fun at night, when I lay in bed, I think about what it would be like to ride those waves when they not the low magnitude they are when they reach Earth, but get closer to the black holes, because it will basically be shrinking and expanding us in all dimensions, including time. So it's actually ripples through space-time that they generate. Why is it that you couldn't use that? It travels at the speed of light. It travels at a speed, which is a very weird thing to say when you're morphing space-time. You could argue it's faster than the speed of light. So if you're able to communicate to summon enough energy to generate black holes and to orbit to force them to orbit each other, why not travel as the ripples in space-time, whatever the hell that means, somehow combined with wormholes? So if you're able to communicate through, like, we don't think of gravitational waves as something you can communicate with, because the radio will have to be a very large size and very dense. But perhaps that's it. Perhaps that's one way to communicate. It's a very effective way, and that would explain. Like, we wouldn't even be able to make sense of that, of the physics that results in an alien species that's able to control gravity at that scale
I think you just jumped up the Kardashev scale so far
So
that
yeah,
you're not just harnessing the power of a star, but harnessing the power of mutually rotating black holes. I that's way above my physics pay grade to think about, including even non-rotating black hole versions of transwarp travel. I think you can talk with Eric more about that. I think he has better ideas on it than I do. My hope for the future of humanity mostly does not rest in the near term on our ability to get to other habitable planets in time.
and even more than that, in the list of possible solutions of how to improve human civilization, orbiting black holes is not on the first page for you.
Not on the first page.
Okay, I bet you did not expect us to start this conversation here, but I'm glad the places it went.